why did you vote for Trump? And what I always like to say is besides immigration, because as a Democrat, I'm willing to concede and take accountability, something that the right is either incapable or unwilling to do. We dropped the ball. Over 10 million illegal immigrants came in. I don't know what exactly was going on there, but either way,
Well,
uh,
well, I'm willing to engage in that. I wonder if you'd humor me with a question first, and then I promise I'll answer yours. Does that sound fair?
yeah, all I was going to say was besides immigration, give me some other reasons why you
Yeah, yeah,
voted
that's
for us.
fair, and
Go ahead.
I promise. But I wanted to dive in because it says smart people don't like me.
Yes.
Does that mean that you think Charlie Kirk was stupid?
Does that mean I think Charlie Kirk was stupid?
Yeah.
Um, hold on a minute. Do I think that mean Charlie Kirk was stupid?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly liked Trump.
Well, when he says smart people don't like me, that's insinuating that he knows what the intelligence level of his base is by him saying that. Correct? That would be
No,
the
that's
implication.
it's just
Right?
him. It's just him making a joke, bro. I think you're reading too much
No,
into it.
Well, so this is the thing that we get
I
into a
think
lot
you're
with
wrong on that
MAGA,
one.
though. This is the thing we get into MAGA, though, with is where they try and explain away with context, and you didn't understand what he meant. I hear this all the time.
Mhm.
All the time. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
just
I
taking.
mean, then maybe you should listen to it.
No, well, listen to what your explanation of what he meant for him instead
Yeah,
of what
well, I
you said.
mean, so the thing that's funny is like most people you talk to in your daily life, I think that you're way more charitable to when it comes to how they utilize hyperbole and how they utilize different phraseology and things like this when they're communicating. But you guys are super uncharitable to Trump, even though Trump was not a groomed career politician, and it shouldn't actually surprise people that he talks more like a regular Joe.
So wait a minute. Your excuse for that is unpreparedness.
What do you mean? It's I'm not making an excuse. I'm giving a
Well,
descriptive
no, that's
claim.
exactly
I'm
what you're
making a
doing. You're giving.
descriptive claim, not an
You're no.
excuse.
Well, you can give it an adjective, but what you're doing is giving a reason to why he
Well,
said that.
hang on. Aren't you giving it an adjective when you say it's an excuse?
No, I mean
No,
that's what it is.
An adjective?
By you
no.
explaining something to him, by you trying to give me an explanation of what he meant. That's what that is. You're trying to add
No,
context for the
yeah,
sake of
yeah.
proving
Well,
a
I'm
point.
just trying to give a descriptive claim for what's true.
You're going to have to elaborate on that because clearly I'm still not getting it. So
Yeah.
please do.
So there's a distinction between a descriptive claim, prescriptive claim, excuse making, non-excuse making. Making an excuse for somebody is they're obviously doing something wrong, and you're trying to pardon them somehow from whatever that thing is. That would be making an excuse for them. I'm just giving you a descriptor which would explain the behavior much better than I think the descriptor that you're giving. Most
So what you're arguing,
politicians, hang on, I'm almost done.
what,
Most politicians are groomed into power. They come from elite families, and they come from very elite upbringings. And they're not usually, many of them aren't even from the private sector, like Barack Obama wasn't, for instance. So there's a reason they have a pedigreed speech pattern. We used to call this, in fact, it's so common. We used to have something called a transatlantic accent that was designed to make you sound a certain way.
okay, but I'm struggling to see what your purpose is in explaining that to me.
Well, because I'm just being charitable, like you should be. Like I think you would be to any normal
So
person.
your
You're
so
just not
your
towards
your
him for some
position
reason.
is I'm not giving him enough benefit of the doubt is your position.
No, I just think that you're what you do is you ignore a descriptor which would make sense because you just want to hate the guy.
A descriptor that makes sense according to your interpretation of
Well,
it.
it would just make sense according to the people you deal with daily in South Michigan.
To the people that I deal with daily.
Yeah, in Southwest Michigan
I
for
mean, what does
sure.
that mean exactly?
Well,
I
it
mean,
means that
that's like
the common factory worker talks a lot like Trump does with hyperbole. They'll say things like, "These bastards are screwing us." Well, it's like they're not being specific on who the bastards are, how they're getting screwed, none of that.
so you're
They're hang on.
saying
They're utilizing hyperbole, and you would probably give them a pass on that, just not Trump for some reason. It's bizarre to me.
for some reason it's bizarre that I hold the president to more accountable than someone working at a factory. That's bizarre to you.
Well, it's not really about holding him accountable. It's just about
That's
not being.
exactly what it
It's just
is.
about not being charitable.
It's about holding him accountable. He's the
Well,
president of the United
what's the
States.
accountability you're
You
looking
think it's
for? He's not allowed
appropriate?
to use
You think it's
hyperbole because it
appropriate
offends your
So,
delicate
so I guess I
sensibilities.
would
things
think
that a
for them
factory worker would
for him
tweet?
to say we hate it, we hate them.
Hold on one sec. Hold on one second. I
Yeah,
just want to land this.
go
You
ahead.
think it's appropriate that he would tweet the same kind of things that a factory worker would tweet?
Yeah, I think that in the context of his speech pattern, it's probably fine. I think that was one of his big appeals.
That's just a funnel.
I think. Hang on. I think it was one of his big appeals to people in the private sector on Main Street was the hyperbolic way in which he spoke, which reminded
100%.
them of how normal people speak.
Yeah. Oh no, he definitely is aware of the power he has and how he uses his words. 100%. He's not nearly as dumb as people claim him to be. I 100% agree with you. That doesn't make it apropos for the position he has.
Well, how should he talk?
Not like he does.
Yeah, but that's not telling me anything. How should he talk in normal what is the way he's allowed to talk which would be acceptable to you?
Well, when you make claims like he often does with no basis or foundation or facts to back it up, to me, when you're the president, when you say things that is going to reach the entire country, they should probably have some kind of foundation, correct? It shouldn't just be opinions. It shouldn't be feelings. It shouldn't be, I don't like how you treated me last week when you were in the Oval Office asking me a question, so now I'm not going to let you back in.
Yeah, it depends on context, though, and it depends on if he's being hyper.
Again, we're back to this context.
And it matters. Context. Not only does context matter, yeah.
It matters to the person trying to excuse the behavior.
That's not an excuse. Like, no, it's not. When somebody makes a joke,
we just disagree on that.
No, we don't even disagree on that. I'll demonstrate it for you. When somebody makes a joke around you, you clearly know, like when somebody's using a mocking voice, you know when they're using like a satirical body language, you know when they're doing those types of things. And Trump often talks in those ways. By the way, he's not the only president who ever has. There's other presidents who have been very bombastic. Hang on, hey man, let me finish. I didn't cut you off at all, so let me finish. The point here, though, is that for reasons I don't understand, you're highly charitable towards everybody else except this guy, even when you know he's being satirical, because you think the other side is so stupid that they are taking what he's saying as not being satirical. That's what's bizarre.
So here's the difference there. When you're the president of the United States and when you have a pattern of behavior over the last decade, when you say things, and I'll use your own argument, context, it's then put into the context of past behavior. It's a trend. It's a pattern of behavior. So like you said, I'm able to see when someone makes a joke based on their tone or humor, etc. Yeah, you're right. But when that's also under the umbrella of everything else that he said, that now changes the context. So it's different when a factory worker says it or when a different politician makes one joke and doesn't also go on Twitter and elaborate on that and turn it into something divisive and destructive. So that then changes the context of it.
Yeah, but no. Well, the distinction here that's bizarre, though, is that the only way for your argument here to work is for you to have to assume that the entirety of the electorate or a huge portion of the electorate which voted for him are so stupid that they cannot make determinations about what is rhetoric and funny. And hang on, man. I didn't cut you off at all. Can I just finish my point?
Well, listen.
Well, I'm not allowed to finish my point. You get to cut me off. You would get mad if I did it to you.
I think we can have a conversation where we can take a break and I can have a retort.
Okay, that's you're not getting lost. I didn't even speak for 15 seconds. Calm down, dude.
No, but no.
Calm down, dude. Let me just finish. Let me just finish, bro.
This is also another tactic that MAGA uses.
You mean not cut you off at all? I didn't cut you off at all. What do you mean? What I'm
saying is the type.
I know what you're saying. I'm making a rebuttal. Can I make it?
What I'm saying.
Yeah. Again, I don't need you to clarify again. I know your position.
You're telling me to calm down, and you're getting so
because, bro. Just let me finish the point.
The type of conversation I'd like to have is one.
Did this to me too before you came.
Yeah, they always do this, bro. They always do this.
When you make a claim, I'd like to be able to have a response to it, so you don't make.
I was making a response to your claim, bro. I was making a response to your claim.
You're more than welcome to finish the point, but I'd like to interrupt and be able to respond to it. That's perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine if it's the case that I'm not in the middle of making the point, which is why I was charitable enough. I was charitable enough not to cut you off at all. So anyway, this meta conversation is very boring. Can I just make the point and then you can respond to it?
You're getting insecure that you're making. It's obvious that you're not listening.
How would you know? I'm not even allowed to speak. Let me know when I can speak. Go ahead.
You're allowed to speak.
Okay, let me know when I am. Go ahead.
Break and I interrupted you.
Okay, go ahead, dude. Let me know when I can talk.
If you want to change what happened according to your perception of it, I can't control that.
Yeah, okay. Meta conversation, very boring. Can you just make your point? Can you just make your point?
Well, it wasn't a point. It was a question based on the statement you made, which is all I wanted to do. And you got emotional and started getting upset.
That's still, this is still the meta conversation. Whatever it is that you want to say, just say it.
Please just go on with your point.
Oh my! Now I can talk. That's great.
Yeah, finish your point.
So you don't even remember what you were saying. But anyway, the point is, and this is super easy, is that your argument hinges literally on assuming that a large portion of the electorate is too stupid to understand when satire is happening, body language is happening, they can't discern jokes, things like this. Your argument actually hinges on that, and you'd have to demonstrate it. You'd have to actually demonstrate that that's the case.
Well, I will. When he there's no other way to explain how people can vote against their own interests. When he says things to his own supporters that aren't true, and he changes things one day to the next, how can I believe that these very same people that fall into that trap are able to tell the difference in someone's tone and what they mean by what they say? How can I expect them to be able to do that when they literally change their entire opinion day to day based on what he tells them to think? If your brain is able to do that, if you're able to somehow compartmentalize a fact you learned yesterday and now it's a different fact today, I don't trust that you're also able to do other things.
Yeah, but do you see how you're making the assertion here that all those people are really stupid and that's why they do that? And your side is just so smart that they can see right through it, right? But the thing is so funny here is that I can give you multiple examples of jokes that Joe Biden has made that you would give him a pass on and not care about whatsoever.
It's not a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, but he does. He had a pattern of behavior. Hey, bro, he had a pattern of behavior where he was a doddering old senile fool, and all of those people that you quote as being too stupid to know when Trump's joking came out in force and told you liberals that he was a doddering old fool who had lost his mind, and you told them that they were all crazy and that they were conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing lunatics, and you were the ones who were fooled. You were the ones who were fooled, and they were the ones who were right. So why should they trust you that they're stupid and you're smart?
Well, you're making a lot of assumptions that I supported the way that they implemented Kamala Harris into the ticket. You're making a lot of assumptions here. A lot.
I'm using your same argument. If it's the case that you're saying these people are too stupid because they can't contextualize what Trump does, so they're fools. Whereas you and your whole side was told by those same people that the president of the United States was a doddering old fool, couldn't even remember where he was, and your side said they were tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists when they were the ones who were right, and they're the ones who aren't supposed to be believed, but you are, when you had a guy who was in office who had access to the nuclear codes who couldn't remember his own last name. Does that sound like I should trust you people or trust the people who told you that?
I think that's a fair argument. I think that the understanding that the Democrats had for that was that they had more faith in a senile old guy who couldn't remember the nuclear codes than a malignant narcissist.
No, they lied. They came out in force, in mass, the constituency and them, and said MAGA is a bunch of tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists spreading falsehoods. Joe Biden is perfectly sound upstairs. He's perfectly sound of body and mind. There's no problems here. They lied to the American electorate. And those same people you say are too stupid to understand a joke told you guys that. Told you that. They told you that over and over. Why should I now believe you and not them?
They told us what exactly?
They told you that the president of the United States was a doddering old fool and he was half senile. The electorate who voted for Trump were out in force explaining to people that the president of the United States was doddering, that he was senile. They did it all the way. By the way, all the way up to the debate, they were still saying that the president that Joe Biden was sound of mind.
Andrew, listen.